Okay guys, it's time to move forward on the C20. Been sitting a while. I kind of half did some stuff on it and had some things come up. So now we're going to go ahead and get some of that stuff on the rear end I've been working on. I got a lot of parts sitting in it and I need to get after it because it's just sitting around waiting on me. It could be a running, driving vehicle, so need to get after it. So let's get to it. Okay, so here's where we are so far on it. I started this rear axle flip and I got all these hanger bolts and everything loose, but I was putting my impact on here and everything, and it was just spinning like it seized to the bushing in there, so I couldn't get them out. So I had to stop there and just bolt this up just to hold it in place. Previous video we did a carrier bearing and ended up being the wrong one. It had the wrong size bearing in here. The OD was bigger than the one I bought, so I got another one. I just got to press that on. So what we're going to do is go ahead and I'm going to try to just get these out, and then I'll undo the brake line right here, roll that axle backwards, do the axle flip, roll the axle back in there, and then bolt these back up, and that should get us our axle flip that we needed. Next will be a C-notch kit that I have. I'm not going to get to that right now. I'm just going to get this axle flip done, get the drive line back together where it can run and move and drive on its own. Then we'll start with this work. I'm probably going to do some exhaust, and when all that's finally done, we're going to go ahead and get it painted. Just do a little bit of, I got some Rust-Oleum black paint I really like. Put that on here and then set the bed on it. It'll look like a good truck. Because I've got lowering springs for the front too. We'll get to that later. But right now the focus is going to be the rear end of it. Alright, well, change of plans. I'm tired of messing with this crap. I'm going to end up having to redo all the bushings, all the bolts, cut everything out. It's ridiculous. It's all seized up, and we haven't had rain in 2 or 3 months, and I'm out here with a torch and a water hose. It's just not safe. So I am going to move over and go ahead and get our drive line put in, get this thing put in, and then we're going to get underneath and try the vacuum modulator on the transmission that I have and see if that'll help it shift. Alright, so here's the new modulator. This is actually one of those that you can self-adjust. You see this little adjust screw in here. You can adjust the shift points for these new ones. I don't know if this is going to make it shift through the gears or if they're actually just gone. So I figured I'd just try this. This seems to be a common occurrence. So hopefully this makes it at least shift. And I'll worry about how hard it shifts later when it's running and driving down the road. But it's a pretty simple swap out, so we're just going to go ahead and try that now. Okay. Vacuum line off, and this thing is brittle. I'll probably end up having to redo this whole system, but for right now we're just going to get it hooked up. Up here's the bolts. I'm going to get that taken off, get this old one out, put the new one in, and then we'll get the old carrier bearing put up in here, get it bolted up the way it's supposed to be, and then we'll try to put it in gear and see if it'll shift through all 3 gears. So I got the old one out. O-ring's still on it, which is good. New one's in. See it there? And wherever this bolt, and there's a retainer clip I have somewhere around here. There you go. You put this retainer clip back on it. It sits right up here like so, behind it, and put that bolt back in. Be sure to have a catch pan because I totally forgot and I pulled that thing out, and now my driveway looks like a dang crime scene. So I'm going to get this back together and start getting this cleaned up. Got her back in. I had to trim a little off this old hose here, which I'll end up redoing it all probably, but it just wasn't sitting on there. Now we got a nice tight fit. So we'll get the carrier bearing in, get some more transmission fluid in it, fire it up and see if it'll work. Okay, well, starting to see why they parked this thing 20 years ago. If y'all remember from previous episodes, this carrier bearing is why they parked it. It was out. I got a new one. The bearing size was too small. We ordered, after gauging the bearing on the driveline, the race, we ended up ordering this one. Well, this one's too wide for the bracket. So all I'm going to do is I've got to get this thing moved out of the driveway and get the driveway cleaned up. Got the U-bolts back in. That's on there just to hold it. We got the vacuum advance in, or the vacuum modulator, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and just put some transmission fluid in it, fire it up, see if it'll run through the gears, and I'm going to get it out of the driveway. Alright, got a little bit of fluid left. What didn't pour out of there? See how it does after it starts. Get battery hooked back up, get our fuelage pump hooked up. See, she wants to fire up. Now the door won't open. What a good day. There she goes. Let that run for just a minute. Go ahead and drop the rear end down. I highly doubt it'll happen, but I'm really hoping that the drinker side head comes around or rings, whichever one it is, because that side's always smoking the worst. Driver's side seems to come around pretty well. Check the old trans fluid. Yeah, we'll go ahead and add just a little bit. Alright, well, we'll get inside, see what happens. Hey, sure if it's going to work at all. One thing I am sure of is it's hotter than the devil's wood burning stove in here. I can't get the windows down. This side won't open. Oh, alright. May as well go. Good time as any. First gear like normal. Well, this will give you guys a good idea of how rough this sucker runs, or rides, excuse me, without all the stuff fixed on it. So, see if it'll shift. Nope, still no shifty. Take her right back to the house. The old transmission's gonna have to be rebuilt, so I'm gonna have to put this sucker aside for a while. shift. Oh, that sucks. Well, I got a lot of stuff to do. I think I'm gonna end up finding a place to put this in, and I'm gonna have to strip it all the way down to nothing. It's not gonna be a driver until I can get that transmission rebuilt. And if I'm gonna do that, I want some overdrive. Yep, we got some thinking to do. So we'll just see where we end up. Appreciate you guys watching again. Stay tuned for more.